OCs. You know them, you love them, and I got some I want to share. If you're unfamiliar with the term, an OC is an original character. It's something very popular in fan communities like video games, shows, movies, anime, etc. But they can also exist within someone's own original world. You know, the Avengers? Yeah, they're Stan Lee's OCs. The OC I want to talk about today is my squunkly wunkly fairy tale OC. Now, if you don't know what fairy tale is, go freaking educate yourself. Well, let me tell you. In a land far, far away lies the kingdom of Fior. Fairy Tail is a shonen manga and anime series that became serialized in Kodansha's weekly shonen magazine in 2006 and got its animated debut in 2009. It's a fun, goofy, action-packed series taking place in the magical kingdom named Fiore. There's magic filling the land and wizards roaming it. These wizards form guilds all across the land, which are places where they eat, sleep, hang out, train, and find jobs. The show follows Natsu, Happy, Lucy, Gray, and Urza on their adventures and growing friendship. Now this is where my one brain cell having little fella comes in. This is Yuki. Their full name is Yuki Haru Rhymebright, and they're an ice dragon slayer. Magic lesson. What's a dragon slayer, you may ask? Dragon slayers are a unique type of people who use a form of lost magic, dragon slayer magic. Each dragon slayer has their own form of magic, just like each dragon is a master of their own element. In addition, they also have the ability to consume the element which they wield, just as long as it's not created from their own magic. Doing so rejuvenates them and enhances their abilities. Dragon slayers are known to possess keener senses than those of normal humans, such as in smell, sight, and hearing, as well as distinctive characteristics and features such as slitted pupils and noticeably sharper teeth. These guys are classified, I guess, by generations. First-gen dragon slayers were raised by dragons since they were children and taught by them how to use dragon slaying magic. Second-gen dragon slayers had a magical device called a lacrima implanted into them, giving them the ability to use this type of magic. These guys are considered to be artificial dragon slayers. Third-gen dragon slayers were not only raised and taught by their dragons, but also had a lacrima implanted into them. I always thought there were only 3 generations of dragon slayers, but apparently there's 5 as of now. I didn't know, mostly because I'm not caught up. But anyways. 4th-gen dragon slayers are apparently created from pure freaking magical power or dragon lacrimas. Jeez, just make some creatures out of the Book of Seraph at this point. And 5th generation dragon slayers are... What? Anyways. Yuki Haru here is a 1st generation dragon slayer. He was adopted by the ice dragon Cryologia when they were a child. They lived together up on the snowy mountains of Fiore, and there Cryologia taught Yuki Haru how to speak, read, write, and use ice dragon slayer magic. Now for some lore. Like most dragon slayers, Yuki Haru's parents and hometown were murdered and destroyed, in his case by a dark guild, leaving him the only survivor and orphaned a long time ago. Since dragons still roamed the land, Cryologia had seen the ruins of a town and out of curiosity decided to go check it out. There she found out this small child was still alive with no one else to take care of it. So she decided to take this human child in, raise it as her own, and teach it ice dragon slaying magic. After a few years of living together, one day Yuki woke up and Cryologia wasn't there anymore, only leaving him a snowflake-shaped chain-linked brooch. Fast forward, and they wandered into the Fairy Tail Guild, joining it immediately after a quick chat with the guild master. Thankfully, there were a couple other kids close to their age, so it was relatively easy to make friends, especially with the other resident ice wizard, Gray. Then a bit later, Natsu joined the guild, and they bonded over being dragon slayers, talked about their dragons, and found their exceed eggs at relatively the same time. Exceeds are cat-like creatures from an alternate world that have wings and can speak, but then sometimes biggered because Yuki spent more time with Gray. Now this is where things get interesting. As they grew up in the guild with all their new friends, Yuki started learning things about themselves, specifically about their sexuality. Ooh. At the same time, he had also started to realize that maybe he was starting to develop feelings for Gray, but decided to push those feelings away and keep being their usual playful and furious self with everyone. Eventually, thanks to one of his friends, Yuki built up the courage to confess to Gray. But little did he know, Gray wanted to tell him the exact same thing. Now, Yukiharu and Gray never really talked about being polyamorous or anything of the sort, but they had both developed feelings for Natsu as well. What they did do was talk about their attraction towards Natsu and decided to just include them in the relationship. Fast forward again to when the Dark Guild Phantom Lord attacks Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail wins and Juvia and Gajeel join the guild. Yukiharu was conflicted at first, because on one hand, this is the dude that almost killed them and literally hung up 3 of their friends. But on the other hand, oh, he's so hot. Yuki decided to wait a little bit and see what he was like as he adapted to the new guild environment before bringing it up to Gray and Natsu that they were kind of interested in Gajeel. Gajeel had been seeing from a distance how Yukiharu not only seemed to treat Gray like their boyfriend, but Natsu as well, and how Gray and Natsu's bickering seemed to be somewhat flirty. So one day he just went up to the 3 of them and asked them about their relationship dynamic, straight up. Yuki, Gray, and Natsu just looked at each other, shrugged, and Yuki flat out just asked Gajeel if he wanted to try it out. Gajeel was very surprised by this, but accepted the offer anyways, and after a couple of fun nights, they all decided to just be together! Yippee! So yeah, this is part 1 of introducing my oopid little Fairy Tail OC. There's still a couple more things I want to talk about them, their dynamics with the other characters from the guild, their Exceed, their 2 other boyfriends, and their Ediless or alternate universe version. I'll probably talk about him again very, very soon just because I'm incredibly Yuki pilled right now. But I also want to talk about my other OCs from another fandom and do fun, silly little things with them on this channel. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye bye!